Hi friends, today we are going to go over the problems that you had for April 6th. That was Monday. So we're going to start with the first one. So it has two rectangular prisms, one on top of the other. Okay, and it says what is the volume of prism D? So we have prism C right here, and we've got prism D. So they want to know the volume of just prism D. So, shh, my dog's talking. She wants to be part of this. So we're going to look at the length and the width and the height of prism D. So we've got the length right here of D, because that's what we're looking at, and it is 8 feet. We've got the width, which is how far back it goes. Sometimes they call it the depth, and that is 5 feet. And we know the height of prism D is, we can't see it over here, we'll go look over here. Oh, it's 3 feet. So the answer is going to be, it's going to have 8, 5, and 3 for length times width times height. So the first one says 8 times 5 times 3. Ooh, that looks pretty good. We're not going to check off until we can double check to make sure we pick the right one. The next one says 8 times 3 times 2, which makes no sense because we're looking at 8 long, 3 high, and then 2. I don't see a 2. I see a 2 as a part of the length, but I don't. So definitely not this one. The next one says 2, oops, you can't see it. 2 times 5 times 1. I'm going to put the prism right here to make sure we're looking at the same thing. So we determined that it's going to be these three numbers that we're going to have to use. So that doesn't make any sense either. So put a little X. And then 4 times 5 times 1, again, doesn't make sense. So we're going to X that. So the only one that does make sense is the first one, which is 8 times 5 times 3, which is 120 cubic feet. Okay. Next problem. What is the volume of the total figure? Okay, so we're going to go back to our figure, and we know that the volume for D, hint, hint, they already gave it to us. Whoops, it is right here. It says 8 times 5 times 3 equals 120 cubic feet. So D equals 120 cubic feet. I'll write that right here. So you know that prism D equals 120 cubic feet. So now all we have to do is figure out what prism C's measurements are, so we can figure out the volume for that. So let's look at C. We want to know what the length of C is, but it doesn't give us any measurements, so we have to be creative, okay? We know that the length all the way across this whole distance is 8 feet. Why do we know that? Because it tells us that right down here at the bottom, that this whole length is 8 feet. Now, if this whole length is 8 feet and we take away 2 feet on this side and 2 feet on this side, what does that make this distance? So it's 8 minus 2, which is 6, minus 2 more. So that makes the length for figure C 4 feet. Because 4 plus 2 plus 2 makes 8, okay? The width, right here, is the same as the width of figure D. So if the figure D width, because we can see it goes from the front to the back, same. So it's 5 feet. And the height, it says right here, is 1 foot. So our volume for figure C will be length 4 times width 5 times height, 1. Okay? So our volume for figure C is 4 times 5 times 1. 4 times 5 is 20. Okay, and then we're going to multiply 20 times 1 equals 20. So figure C is 20 cubic feet and figure D is 120 cubic feet. Now, remember, when we have a composite figure, we're taking two separate figures and squishing them together to make one. So like I used my example with the blocks, let's say one of these is 12, and then the volume of this cube is 8. When we make a shape, when they're pushed together, it's going to be the volume of this plus the volume of this, 12 plus 8. So the same thing on paper. You have the volume of D, which is 120, and then the volume of C, which is 20. So 120 plus 20 equals 140. So the answer is going to be 140. 20 plus 120. Oh my goodness, my dog sounds like a monkey, doesn't she? When she goes, woo, woo. So that's going to be our secret password for today. It's going to be monkey. And probably tomorrow. Okay, next question. Find the volume of the prism. Alrighty. So there are all these questions on the back that are going to relate to this. So we're going to be flipping. Sorry. What is the length of prism X? Okay, here we have prism X. And we want to know the length. So, we know the length of, both of them together is 10 feet. But we don't know what prism X is. So we've got to look somewhere else to find a clue to figure out what the length is. So let's look. Oh, Y has a length of 4 feet. So if 4 feet is here, and all the crossed way over here is 10 feet, what does that make the length of just prism X? 4 plus what equals 10 feet? Because remember, this length right here will also have to be 10 feet. This is 10 feet, so this is 10 feet. So if this part is 4 feet, what is the length of this part? So let's think. 10 minus 4 is 6. 4 plus 6 more feet is 10. So the length of prism X is 6 feet. So I'm going to put that actually down here. I'm going to go, and I'll draw a little. The this is 6 feet because 6 plus 4 is 10. Okay, let's go back. We just did 10. Take away 4 is 6. That's it. I didn't even know that was one of the options. We did it so well. We're so great. What is the volume of prism X? Okay, so now we have the length, which is 6. So do volume of X equals the length, which is 6, times the width, which is just 1, times the height, which is 8. Okay, so 6 times 1 is 6, times 8 is 6 times 8. Ooh. If you're not really comfortable with your 6s or your 8s tables, just think, well, I know 8 times 5, and 8 times 5 is 40. So 8 times 6 is going to be one more 8, so that is going to be 48. And it's in feet, so we're going to say cubic feet. So let's turn over and see if we have that as an answer. Yes, 48 cubic feet. All right, what is the volume of prism Y? Let's look. Okay, so prism Y, V of Y. Okay, the length they gave it to us, is 4 feet. The width is how far it goes back. Though it doesn't show us here, so where are we going to find the width? We're going to have to look somewhere else on the figure to find the width. So it doesn't show us here, doesn't show us here, but it does show us right here that the width for the whole figure is 1 foot. So the width for y is also 1 foot. And the height is 3 feet. So length times width times height is 4 times 1, which is 4, times 3, and that makes 12. So 12 cubic feet. Let's look. Yes, okay. There's 2, though, that have 12 cubic feet. So we know it's not this one. So we do 3 times 4 times 1 or 4 times 3 times 1. So which one was the length? Honestly, guys, it doesn't matter as long as you get the right answer. But I guess this is looking for a specific one. So we said our length was 4, our width was 1, and our height was 3. Oh, and neither one of them show. So I'm going to say either one is right. I hand grade, so if you picked either one, I'm going to say it's correct. So what's the volume of the whole figure? So if one part of the figure is 48 cubic feet and the other part of the figure is 12 cubic feet, we're going to add those two numbers together. 8 plus 2, 10. 4 plus 1 plus 1 is 6. So the answer is 60 cubic feet. So the only answer is this one. Okay, guys, I know this is a little bit different and can get a little bit difficult. I'm going to have a Google Meet tomorrow, and Ms. McDonough is also going to have a Google Meet tomorrow. If you have any questions about this or your work that you do tomorrow or the work that you did today, please come. I have blocks that I can show you at home that kind of show a little bit better what's happening when we're finding volume and taking things apart and putting it together. So that might be a good idea if you're, struggling a little bit or just kind of want to see what it looks like in real life. Okay? All right, have a good day.